Alright guys, we're in beautiful Byram, Mississippi today. We're on a mobile call. Show you what I got. I got a 2007 Tahoe. Tahoe. We just took it for a test drive. When you step on the brake, and only when you step on the brake, you can feel a little pulsation in the butt area. That usually means you got rear rotors that are warped. If you feel it in the steering wheel and it's shaking when you step on the brake, that's going to be front rotors. Butt is rear rotors, steering wheel is front rotors, and that's how you tell. We're going to be doing a complete brake job on. Also going to throw in a couple light bulbs today. So, all right, while you're down here with your brakes, like I said in the earlier part of the video, you look around. You look around for stuff. Look at that. That don't look right. Stabilizer link is completely gone. The bushings are completely gone. So you let the customer know, hey, you need stabilizer links. That's that noise you're hearing when you hit railroad tracks or big bump or little potholes. That noise like that when you hit a bump. That's a stabilizer link. Lost your bushings. Look at the control arm bushings. You make sure they're not dry rotted. You look at the lower control arm. Look at that. You look at the sway bar. You look at the tie rod ends. You shake things down. And that is a brake job. You just do everything. You do your inspection while you're in here. That way the customer won't say, hey, you know, he did a brake job. He didn't see that was loose. Yeah, Hayes is going to see it's loose or it's bad or whatever. But a lot of guys are just throwing on pads or putting on that tire, man, they're paid and they're out the door. I'm getting really tired of seeing that kind of work. But I see it all the time out here. You don't want to learn nothing, but you want to get paid like you know something. That's insane. Man, you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice to get what you want out here. You got to learn stuff. You got to want to learn stuff. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, baby. You know, I got like 2 other jobs I got to get done today. This is a 4-wheel brake job, rotors, brake pads. I really don't have to do anything else today if I didn't want to. I mean, this is enough for me. All I got to do is spend an hour somewhere, and I've been here about an hour. Got, you know, the rear's done, got the fronts done right now, as soon as I get this one done. And I could be done for today, but I'm not. I'm going to go out there and have some more fun. It ain't about the money. For me, it isn't. So, anyways, you make sure everything is correct because you can't make no mistakes when you're a mobile tech. You can't make no mistakes. Otherwise, you're going to be coming back or they're going to be coming to you and you already have an appointment scheduled. So you're going to have to miss that to take care of the problem because you weren't paying attention. And that's the problem I'm having with a lot of these guys. They think they can just throw some parts on there and boom, and get paid. You know, pay attention to what you're doing. Enjoy what you're doing. Do a good job so you won't have to do it again and you're losing money. And I'm not going to pay for your extra time. If you mess up and you got to do the job again, I'm not paying you again. So they're not paying me again, so I'm not paying you again. I'm just saying, it's just an added note. I'm not gonna do it. Once you get the tires off, you do your little visual inspection. If you look down at this rotor, you'll see how thin this outer part is right here compared to here. That is gonna heat up faster than this, obviously, because it's thicker. Whenever you apply brakes, that friction rubs against that rotor and that rotor gets hot. Once it gets too hot, that rotor will start warping, okay? And that's why you get that pulsation in your butt, in your seat area, okay? Not necessarily your butt, but you know, you're feeling it in your butt. So that's going to be a rear rotor problem, and this is a sign that, yeah, you know, you got the right diagnosis there. One side thinner than the other. Bad rotor. Let's look at a new rotor. That's your new rotor right there. See how even they are? That's what you want to look like. These are cooling vanes, if you didn't know. All these little pieces inside the rotor, between the rotor, these are cooling vanes. The air goes through that and cools down the rotor. That's what it's for. It's not a solid rotor, it's a finned rotor. So we're going to replace rotors and pads on this one. And the pads, you see the pads are fairly thick, but we're not going to put these old pads back on it because we want the new pads to mate with these pads. We don't want a pad that's already worn to this rotor and put it on a new rotor. You'll get squeaking if you do that, unless you sand them down or something like that. But we're going to put new pads on there. Let's mate it. That way they'll mate to the new rotor. Now let's go check the other side. Right, again, this side is thinner than the inside. So what I do is I just remove the lower bolt out of there. I already got it out. All right. Sometimes you got to hold the vice grips on the centerpiece because that'll spin and you won't be able to get this off. So you have to clamp it and then take the nut off. But get it on the bottom one only. And what you can do is you can put those brake pads in. So I'm just going to pop it out from the bottom. Okay. Pop it out from the bottom, lift it up, and actually you can pull this piece completely out. You can just lay it on top, okay? You can use a special tool. We'll do that later, and we'll push that piston back in to the bottom so you can put the new pads in there. Because there's no way the pad is going to fit in there if that piston's pushed out. That piston is being pushed out by a brake pressure. When you step on the brake, brake fluid fills this up and it pushes the piston out. And it makes the brakes work. It squeezes against the rotor, those pads. All right. Look back here, and we're gonna find some. 18 millimeter bolts. One there, and there's gonna be one up here, right there. Get those loose and pull that off, and then I can pull the rotor off. Not a big deal. If this thing does not move. This thing does not move like that, you're going to be wearing brakes unevenly, okay? So it has to move. It can't be stuck, which I see a lot because people don't put the grease in there when they do a brake job. They just throw pads on there and let you go. And you'll come back, if they're sticking, you'll come back with another problem, probably with brake pads, one thinner than the next one. One really fat and one really, really skinny. That's because your slides are sticking. It doesn't, this rotor, this caliper is not floating, okay? It's pretty important. So let me pull that out real quick and let me use my special tool. What I do, there's a lot of ways you can do it, but I just put a brake pad, an old brake pad in there. And I use my tool. It's like a channel lock, it's like vice grips. And you just tighten it up and you push the piston in and you squeeze it. All right, guys, and that's how you do a brake job and all the things that you have to inspect while you're doing a brake job. You know, you want to check hoses too. Make sure they're not dry rotted or cracked or leaking. Make sure you lube both the slides up. You got one here and you got one there. So make sure you lube those up. Put a little grease on your pad where the pad slides back and forth. You can do that. Install your new rotor, man, and that's it. I got 3 more to do. So let me go ahead and get this done. I got a few other vehicles I got to get done today, so I got to get hot on it.